name is Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards. If you want one of your own, you can go to lifeskateboard.com and get one of your own. Today we're going to be loading up all the presses, and I'm going to be fitting more into the wide press than I generally do. So forgive me if I'm rushing through that. But we're going to try something a little different, and I'm going to repeat this a couple times. While I'm gluing, if somebody buys supers, I'll write your name inside the plies on the skateboard that I'm pressing. So we're going to jump to it, and like I said, I've got to rush through these. I'm going to get 6 in the same press here. So I've got less time to work in between these. But before I get this started, I'm going to share this to another platform. Bear with me here, guys, while I'm doing this. Share this for me, especially if you're familiar with what I do. Then I'm back. Sam, I just started the live. Now I gotta walk away to check if the fire's still burning. Thank you. Nope. Probably should have checked that before I started the live here. But I will, thanks Sam. I'll go stoke that. Be right back, guys. Alright, if it goes out, it goes out. That's how that's gonna do. Oh, it's going alright, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I've already said a couple of these things, but I'll let you know now. Anybody that buys supers, Sam, I gotta explain that to everybody first. Sam and I were trying to talk about ideas for things to do for people to buy supers to kind of incentivize it. So what I'm going to do is if you buy a super while I am gluing, I'm going to write your name inside of the board. I used to write notes inside of the board, so this will be fun. But I'm going to get going here. I will say that while I'm gluing these 6 up here, I'm going to have to be a little bit quick with it, not be as responsive. Hi there, Michelle. So like I said, if you guys are buying supers, I don't know if that's super chats or super thank yous or whatever it is, I'll do that. Just make sure if you buy it, just put your name that you want me to write on there and I'll do that for you. So I'll use this first board to explain what's inside of your skateboard. Your standard board's going to have 7 plies of maple. You've got a face, which is a pretty vertical grain with no blemishes on it. Core, less pretty vertical grain. And crossband. So inside of your board, you've got a face, core, crossband, core, crossband, core, and face. Super chats. Yeah, if you guys do super chats, I will write your name on one of these internal plies. That means somebody's going to be skating around with your name inside of it and doesn't even know it. All right. And this, having this angle on my phone is teaching me that I need glasses because I can't see anything. It's all right, man. Here, you know what? Let me go ahead. You've been here since the beginning, Bobby. So this is what I'm going to do when you do that. So we're going to be writing. It'll be like this. Thank you, Bobby. That's backwards, isn't it? and that'll end up inside of somebody's skateboard. So there's your example right there. So when you guys buy Super Chats, that's what I'm going to do. Obviously, I'm only going to write appropriate things. If you throw something on there that I'm not going to write, I'll accept that Super Chat, but I'm not going to write it down. Oh. All right, load up the glue tray here and get going. So here at Life Skateboards, we roll all of the plies. Of course, Bobby. We roll all the plies by hand. The reason we do that is a glue machine is going to skip your top and bottom ply, as well as the crossbands. There you go, Bobby. You're inside of somebody's skateboard. Thank you, Tommy. I hope you have a great day too. Thanks for tuning in. Also trying to kind of fine-tune the amount of glue that I'm using on here. There's been quite a bit of squeeze out, and while more glue is always better than too little glue, don't want to waste a lot. And if I sound like I'm all over the place today, I am all over the place today. Thank you. This shirt is actually from Blacklist Skate Shop over in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Those guys are rad. Their local park is awesome, and it's right down the road, or I say down the road, it's pretty close to Batesville Skate Park, which is really cool. Hunger finished that park, and it's amazing. Dang it, Bobby. That boy ain't right. I'm okay, Dad. My King of the Hill voices are very not accurate until I do Boomhauer by accident. And that's just me talking sometimes. You guys see the new King of the Hill? Because I love it. Dang it, Bobby. It's 6 in the morning and that boy already ain't right. You don't know how many times I've said that line. Right? Thanks, Ghost Man. Bobby is everyone's spirit animal, I hope. Bobby encompasses everyone. That's the important parts. Actually, Tommy, I never got a chance to skate at Beech Grove Park before it was gone. My younger years of skating were at Danville Skate Park before it was gone, Majors a couple times, and Plainfield Skate Park, and mainly my buddy's driveway. And then started going to Majors non-stop. Because he chose to do what he wanted to do, right? Roberto, are you trying to find out because your nickname is Bobby and you want to be successful like Bobby? Hope so. Alright, so that's one glued up there. And remember, guys, while I'm gluing, if you buy a Super, put what you want me to write inside of one of these skateboards on the Super note thing, or whatever the heck that thing is called. I've never been on the other end of that. Bobby will get there. You'll get there, Bobby. Give me 1 second. That tape from the last time that I did a custom graphic is still in the other room. Alright, just taping the ends up here so they don't slide around in the press. Like I said, I'm doing a little bit more inside of a press than normal today. And get our stock built up over here. And of course the tape is giving me trouble, as usual. Everything can run smooth, but the tape will be the thing that slows me down. Alright. One press. We're going to be loading 6 into the same press here today. That's 3 per mold, which is the most that we generally fit in there. We don't want it to start losing concaves between boards. Hi there, Mitt. So Mitt, you can get one of these decks at lifeskateboard.com. That's lifeskateboard.com. Oh, and I forgot. Sam is the man. There we go. That's inside of somebody's skateboard. We had a nice skate shop in Beech Grove, he said. Was that Key? I happened to meet the original owner of Key when I worked at a different skate shop. I wasn't going around to shops when I was a youngin', so I didn't even mean to say that. That just came out. Young. When have I ever used that term in my life? Never until right now. No, it was a woman I met that ran it. Matt said, would you say making boards is a 50-50 investment? I mean, I don't know. I'm the hourly employee here, bud. I just make boards for a living. Maybe the owner is in the chat right now and can answer you that question. We'll say that startup and trial and error is the biggest part that deters people from board making, or pushes them to cut corners like the rest of the industry does. That's rad. Yeah, I met owner of Key actually found one of my YouTube channels, one of my YouTube videos, and commented. And then when I was working in a shop, she stopped in there to say hi. But I don't work in the shop with a storefront anymore, so people coming to say hi is a little bit different these days. No, it's not cold here. It's been pretty mild lately. It was a little chillier in Cleveland when I was up there this last week, but it's pretty mild here right now. It's been really hot in the last few weeks. Wearing a beanie because it's comfortable, if that's what you're wondering. We are located in New Palestine, Indiana, just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis. I have lived in Indianapolis the majority of my life, born and raised here. The shop used to be in Muncie, Indiana, just about a little over an hour north of Indy. I'm handcrafting skateboards here. And if you're new to watching this, if you buy a super chat, put on there what you want me to write inside of the board, and somebody will be skating around with your name inside their board, and they won't even know it. But you and I will know it, and everybody else here. And maybe the person that buys it if they watch the live. Which has been fun. Ben Prout swung by this morning to pick up his board. He was the guy who was doing the custom graphic for on my signature shape last live, where he popped onto the live just in time to see his own board get finished. So our cheapest decks are $70. That would be our popsicles, and then shapes go up from there. Twins, footballs, we got those set at $79. We got all kinds of shapes. So if you go to lifeskateboard.com, you can check out all of what we got to offer. Give me a moment here. It don't feel right. I somehow slipped an extra core in there. Whoops. All right. We do make customs. You'd have to contact my boss, Sam Cook, about that. But we do offer over 77 different shapes. As far as custom goes, if you're talking about wheelbase, we'll do that anytime for you. You can pick how many plies you want in there. If your board's under 925, you can choose our mellow concave, but we are well known for how deep our concave is. In a moment here, you'll be seeing the press. I'm currently gluing up more than I tend to, so I have not paid attention to the chat as much as I used to. What's up, Jake? I met Jake out in Pennsylvania at Van's house. Cool that you found the live here, Jake. That's rad. He is an absolute ripper. It is 1:39 p.m. right now. Jake is an absolute ripper. That tray foot Benihana you did on the hip there. What was that? Was that half fakey front side heel to nose that you were doing? I don't know. Everything you did looked rad though. This is great, isn't it? Skateboards being made. Congratulations, bud. That's always a cool feeling. What was your first trick? My first flip trick was a varial kick flip because I couldn't keep my board straight. What's up, Dennis? Thanks for tuning in. And if you're new to the live today, like I said before, if you buy Super Chat, write what you want me to put inside of the skateboard for you, whether that be your name, nice little positive note, whatever, and then somebody will end up skating around with a note inside of their skateboard from you that they don't know about. I used to write little motivational notes inside the board, so that's where that idea came from. Ooh. But big thanks to all you guys that have been supporting me. I'm only 80 hours away from watch time or watch abs monetization, which is pretty cool. Never thought I'd do anything besides just share my videos on YouTube. And there are some changes coming to the channel. Yeah, I want to know what trick you landed, bud. You got an old school kickflip. Nice. There you go. Well, you mean by OG? Do you mean the barrel roll kickflip and not flicked off the nose? Because I still call that a kickflip any day. Unless you did the one where your feet are sideways and you're kind of ski-balled on there. That's a different trick, but it's rad. I like it. Give me 1 second here. Let me hit this tape roll on the orbital. Sorry about that. See, if I get any tape, any glue on the edges of this tape, it likes to rip on me, and that's never fun. I'm back. Halfway through this pressing here. Got 3 more to go. Throw another glove on. You never get notified on my lives. I'm sorry, bud. I wish maybe if somebody could help me out, is that a setting on my end that's not notifying subscribers of when I go live? Do I need to be doing something different? I wish I could have a live schedule, but because this is a rotating schedule, it's hard for me to do that. Heck yeah, music! We have not. I've accidentally made a 9-ply board, but we tend to stick around the 6 to 8 range on that. I mean, I've repressed boards into materials that made them a lot of plies, but never for an actual board. These are potentially for pretty large orders, so we're gonna stick to 7 on these. Hi there, Prom. But since you mentioned ply numbers, that order of plies that I went over early on in the live, the only thing we do to make it a 6-ply is remove one of the bottom cores, and then for an 8-ply we add another one to the center. This is glue. It's what holds your life board together. And this is a Type Bond 2. Any glue. Yeah, I'm just using glue sticks to put skateboards together. That'll be fun. Brought to you by Elmer's. No, it's Type Bond 2. Not Mustang lover, not Strangler. I swear, the first time I read your name, every time I'm gonna be like, Strangler? No, wait. It's Stangler. You want to have a build a skateboard competition? No, but I'll have a continue building skateboards, and you can have a competition to see which one of you can buy the most. How about that? How's about that? I don't know how that would be fun. Nice, yeah, that's actually, so spiral cutting is how this gets done. Oh, well, Bobby went and bought a Super from me, and I am gonna, Bobby, put it in the chat what you want me to write on there. I got you. I'll write that inside the next skateboard that goes in the press. Thank you, Bobby, I really appreciate that. We got 2 more to glue up here, but then we got plenty more if you guys are waiting to put anything on there. All right. What's Bobby want in there? Of course, dude, but I wasn't trying to push you to do that. I was just using you as an example. So, there you go. Thank you, Bobby. Keep pushing. That's going to be inside of somebody's skateboard. They're not going to know it, but you and I are going to know it. I like this little concept here. So Kenneth, we are very, very good at all wood construction, which seems to be something the industry does not choose to get better at, which is why we don't mess with anything else on there. I would definitely suggest getting a board from us, trying it out, and then make suggestions. You know what I mean? Because we're way different than your general factory board. We didn't really ever have to move to non-wood construction to keep them strong. So I'd definitely suggest trying our boards. Because they're extremely strong and long-lasting. In fact, that's one of the only issues, is they last so damn long. Oh, no worry, Kenneth. Yeah, it's a feel thing. I mean, other companies have tried things like that, but we're going for the all-wood construction feel here. There's companies like, I believe Black Cat does carbon fiber. At the Skate One warehouse, Powell is doing some other mixture with wood and non-wood materials, stuff like that. Thickness of a single ply, I believe these guys were 1/16. Hey, congratulations. I'm sorry you had a rough day, Bobby, but hopefully this will make it better. I'm glad I had time to respond to you on Facebook, too. We will definitely get some time to skate together. I'm going to be honest, I haven't even had time to skate since I got home from Ohio, besides the one little session at Majors. But I am going to be over at LP tonight. All right. We got public protest over here being silly. It's a strange thing to announce to the world, young man. Yeah, but I will be down over at LP tonight, picking up the lady around 8:30, or around 8, and heading over there for a little session. Kind of hoping Sam has my new shape done soon, so I can switch over to that when I switch over to my DKL grip tape. So I finally got that package in, and it finally made its way to me. Yeah, I'll be meeting Ben Prout tonight at LP to deliver his board, maybe his shirt. He might be getting his order piece by piece. He came by the shop this morning. He ordered a signature shape from me. I had personally bend my rails from Lil John's, so I taught him how I bend my rails. Unfortunately, his board wasn't done when he showed up today, but he was happy to take a tour of the shop. Ben's just a great dude. Really like talking to him. Alright, this is the last one going into the wide press, so if you guys want me to write anything on these boards going in the wide press, now's your time to buy Super for it. I did not Cobra Kai. Tell me about it. What happened with Rampage's son? If you guys don't know, Rampage is a skateboarding dog out of Indiana. We make the boards that he rides. He rides a Chubby Stubby from us, a 6-ply. I've skated with him a few times, and his owner, Isaac, is just a great dude. But I haven't had an update in a while, so it would be interesting to hear what's going on with them. Today I'm doing 6 into this press and then 4 into each of the other presses. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you guys are talking about like real wrestling and stuff. I'm over here talking about a skateboarding dog, and you guys are talking about people. I did not hear that. I don't really keep up with that stuff, but that is wild. That's hilarious that I thought you were talking about the skateboarding dog. Yeah, I'm sure this probably breaking up. I'm in the middle of nowhere making skateboards. Unfortunately, I'm only working with my phone, but thank you for letting me know. We got a signal booster in the building, but it doesn't seem to be boosting the signal very well. Yeah, I was over here like, wait a minute. Rampage's son tried to kill somebody? Also, Rampage has a son? Actually, I think there is a litter from Rampage. This is, so when you make a skateboard, you want hard maple, generally Great Lakes maple or Canadian maple. You want something that was grown in cold temperatures, cold and long winters, and slow growth. When you have slow growth, you have tight grains. Tight grains makes it malleable, yet strong wood that's not very absorbent. I was over here thinking that you're talking about a puppy taking out some MMA wrestler, and I was like, whoa, what happened? There's a reason I didn't get an update on these dogs. Ooh. Well, that's fun. Random thought here. If you guys are ever watching, like sitting somewhere where they have Chive TV playing and you pay attention, you might end up seeing a clip of me in Rampage. I don't know who gave them permission to use it, but it's always fun when I get a message from somebody on Instagram sitting at a bar looking up at a video of me skating with a dog that I didn't know I gave permission for people to use. But then again, I don't own anything I post on Instagram. That's just how that works. Of course, Colin. Always here. I'm here to explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and give a little bit of an understanding to board making. Because it's not something that's talked about a lot in the industry. So that's what I'm here for, answer questions and help you out. Did I ever get into the shake jump phase? No. One second here. Why do I do this to myself? Give me a second here, guys, since I've misplaced the tape already. Super smart move. We're gonna move all this over here out of the way. All right. So no, that's a good question. Did I get into the shake jump phase? No, I was a strictly mob skater, and then for a period of time I was stenciling grip tape for local shops with Bad Luck Club. So I was just pretty much doing what shake jump does on my own grip tape. But now I ride DKL, non-abrasive grip tape, every time that I have it. Recent clips, you've probably seen me skating normal grip tape. I hate it. DKL sent me a package, and my postman, instead of bringing it to my door, returned it. The Portuguese butcher is back. All right. So we are going to be loading 3 into each of these molds today, which is not something I normally do. Which is why I've been a little less attentive on this, on the chat there. And make sure these are all. The reason we're doing this is we have a potential large order that will include all natural wides. All right, now we got to fit that center piece in here. End to end aligned. Good, good. All right, slide this separator in there. Now I'm going to be trying to fit 3 of these guys in here. Looks like I got just enough space to do it. Might take a little wiggling, but we can make it work. And the cool thing is, I can check the live. Got a little bit of time left here, so it looks like I meant a little bit of playtime left with the glue. Looks like we're in business here. All right, last one to fit in there. Tape this corner down a little better. Would you look at that? Like a glove. That's the most skateboards this press has seen at a time. And we don't ever want to go past 3 because we don't want to start losing that concave on the center ones, if that makes sense. But it looks like I just found out that I can get myself more work. Alright, so now to tighten these jacks down, raise them up. You guys are going to watch the glue squeeze out the sides here. Hopefully not too much. I've been trying to scale back the glue so we have less waste here. And remember guys, if you want to get one of these boards of your own, you can go to lifeskateboard.com. Sorry, I'm not keeping up with the chat at the moment. Just trying to get this done as quickly as possible. I'll have a lot more time to respond and whatnot on the next press. Now these are normally hooked up to pneumatic jacks. They were hooked up to pneumatic jacks when we had the shop in Muncie, Indiana. But since we moved, we haven't hooked the compressor back up yet. So I'll raise these jacks up, give myself a Celsius to wake up a little bit, and then we'll keep on going here. Drag it closer so I can see what's being said. I think I should, every time a question gets asked, I should just let you guys guess what's happening. So the separators that get thrown in there are a plastic material to separate the boards from each other and from the press itself. My live is cutting in and out. This right here is maple. The press around it is metal. So the frame is metal, the molds are maple. Blocks of maple that are CNC cut. That way we get a consistent concave across the whole thing. Did not get any skating. I see what's happening. My phone gets blown up by scam callers on a regular basis. How do I know I have equal pressure from each jack? I'll show you. I go until it can hold my body weight on both sides. You can feel it. You can feel it. There we go. So if you guys don't know, Sam Cook there in the chat is the owner and operator of Life Skateboards, the only guy I worked with here. Sam, I get to show you. Look at all those boards in that press. I think we can get a bunch of them out pretty quickly. Yeah, so most of the time, when it's hooked up to pneumatic jacks, I can base it off of the clicks between it. I don't know if you've ever used a compressor with pneumatic jacks, but they kind of click on their way up. And obviously there's no clicks for this, so I had to find something out to figure out if they're at the same pressure. Sorry, I kind of lost what I was doing. Hi there, Just Vids. When's the last time I brushed my hair? It's been a while. See, my lady brushes my hair every once in a while when it gets too wild, but I don't really have a lot of time to care about it. But thank you for taking the time to care about it. If you didn't know, this is a wood shop. So what happens when you're in a wood shop is you get covered in dust. And that's just how it happens. I hope you have a great day though, bud. All right. Thanks. I prefer. Shame on you. Shame. The finger of shame. You guys are silly. Anyway, back to my dream job. Oh, Dora, don't worry. This is dirty. I promise. This is real dirty. I'm not ashamed of it either. I'm a skate rat. Do a kickflip. I'm in the middle of working right now, but maybe later. But thank you, Dora. That was aggressive defending. I love this community. Every time somebody hops on here trying to be a bit of a dick, somebody else hops on here running right back at them. I guess I can teach them how to grow their hair out like this too. Here's what you do. You don't care, and that's how it happens. 360 kickflip. Well, guys, you can, if you want to see some skateboarding, you can go to my page, and I usually post clips to my shorts. I've got some full videos of, like, my 31st birthday. I did 31 transition tricks and 31 ledge and flat ground tricks, I think. Was that this year, or was that last year? I can't remember. So these decks are going to be a maximum of 11.75, and then there's another press that's 9.5. But then when we get in the other room, I've got a big variety of boards, including a longboard to finish shaving. All right, so this next press, actually, so these are going to be the 11.75 maximum, and then we're going to be putting the mellow mold on top of it. So 2 of these and 2 of the mellows. And the mellows is where I'm going to have to scale back my glue usage because I think I've been putting too much glue on there. Once again, and not a bad thing for the board, a bad thing for our production. Yep, hard maple. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Can I do an impossible? No, not flat ground. That is one trick that's eluded me. I've got front foot impossible sweepers and front foot impossible to kneeper, front foot impossible creeper, but I've never gotten these straight up impossibles before. There's never something that really made sense to me. However, I do think that my new board shape is going to open some stuff up for myself. Sorry if I'm skipping things, I'm not being able to see it. Hi there, Jeffrey. Jeffrey says, carbon fiber is the best. Now, Jeffrey, have you ever had your feet on one of these boards? This is a life skateboard. It's really crazy to have an opinion about something you've never put your feet on. Carbon fiber is really cool right up until you get razor tail. Take it from a guy with scars on his legs for that. It's really cool also if you don't care about the all-wood construction or the all-wood construction feel. You know what I mean? So I'd highly suggest putting your feet on a life skateboard. There is no shame in thinking that all boards are the same until you put your feet on these, because I was in the same boat. A few years back, before I worked here, I was working in a skate shop. I was pretty heavy-footed and I skated every day, so I was going through a deck a week. That was sustainable at the time because part of my pay was a deck, and it was pretty much like grab whatever I want because they're all going to last just as long as each other and there's no difference. And then somebody came into the shop, told me that they had pressed the board, wanted me to try it out, and it started to last me so much longer than my other boards. So I started advertising the crap out of it. Come to find out, that dude was lying, and it was actually one of these boards, and now I'm one of the ones making it, which I absolutely love that it all came full circle. But my favorite board before I ended up making these boards were these boards. Been here for a few years, and then Sam's been doing it since 2012. I haven't skated carbon fiber since I got splinters in my leg. Hi there, Benjamin. Yeah, I was going through a deck a week. That's what happens when you're learning tricks and heavy-footed. Not really here to justify you arguing with me, but that's what happens when you skate every day. So Levi, I think what you're bringing up, if you want to see me do a trick, you can go to my page and watch those videos. Today I'm working, making skateboards for a living. Thank you, Benjamin. I'm definitely not lying. It was very frustrating at the time to be going through decks that quick. Whether I was retiring them for razor tail, which I do have a strong fear of razor tail, and when I did retire them for razor tail, I was just tossing it to somebody at the local skate park. But a lot of the times they were cracking. I was just very heavy-footed at the time as well. But there was a good question in there. So Lewis, I think you were asking about probably the flight decks. Those are not all wood construction, and it's really, I can't talk down on them. They do it in-house at the Skate One factory. One of the few factory boards that's actually focused on the long life. And they use, I know that when you ask them about it, they say they got secret sauce in between them. Yep, it is a flight deck. So it's these, no way, Marcus, that's funny as shit. Sorry to break away from that, that's funny. As far as the flight decks go, that's a great idea, but then again, it flexes, so it just really depends on your feel. If you want an all-wood construction feel, come to us. If you don't care about the feel and you want a really long-lasting deck that unfortunately is going to razor tail really sharp, go with that. I've got a horror story about razor tail. Yep, you guys are hearing it today. You guys are hearing the grapefruit story. So we are Life Skateboards. That's lifeskateboard.com. We're located in New Palestine, Indiana, just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis. Shop used to be located in Muncie, Indiana, but we moved recently. But you guys ready for the... Yeah, Dustin, it sucks because sometimes people don't get that us heavy-footed guys go through boards like crazy. It doesn't matter how we are as far as quality. It also doesn't speak to how we're skating, just how much we're skating. You know what I mean? Yeah, oh, thank you, Sam. Our concave is extremely deep and way different than the flight decks. Sam is the owner and operator of Life Skateboards, so I appreciate the addition to that. So here's my horror story on Razor Tail. So if you guys are familiar with Major Taylor skate parks, if you're not, I can describe the spine real easy. They've got a real nice spine right in the middle of the park. It's a double barrel, can't be more than 3 feet tall. Really nice to learn stuff on. I rolled up to it fakie, got into tail, did a shove it intending to be in blunt on the other side to pull in. When I did the shove it, my back foot came off of the tail, my front foot went over the nose, and the board was perfectly suspended on that double barrel with Razor Tail. And I came down directly on that Razor Tail while wearing sweatpants. Now, I know a lot of you have probably popsicled yourselves, and I know a lot of you probably been hitting the nuts skateboarding. I was alone in the skate park. I had to crawl my happy ass to the car and then decide to go to the hospital in the morning when I realized the extent of the damage I had done with Razor Tail. Almost lost one, but didn't. And yeah, now I retire my boards when they have Razor Tail and don't skate in sweatpants. There's your horror story for the day. Lewis said, what's the name of your decks? Life Skateboards. So check out lifeskateboard.com. Yeah, I break hardware all the time. It's crazy. I had of course, Levi, and I'm pretty sure I called you Lewis like 3 times. My bad. My eyes aren't that good. I mean, as annoying as this sounds, just let the trick happen, I guess, is a way to do it. Or get boards that are gonna match your heavy-footed patterns, like a life deck, or something that's just gonna last you longer. I hate to be the guy that says, you know, you can be heavy-footed if you land bolts, but that is one thing if you're consistently heavy-footed, or you can just get a quality skateboard. Sam, that was a bad one. Yeah, my shins should have mountain ranges named after them. That's for sure. Do we make an 825? Yes, we do. We make everything for you. So if you go into the popsicle section of the website, you're going to find the 825s. And that 825 is going to come in a standard concave and a mellow concave. I'm going to highly suggest our standard concave. Deep concave gives the board end-to-end strength. And I can explain that in a moment here. But our mellow concave is something that we made because some people said that we had too much concave for people with flat feet. So we accommodated for it, but I'm always going to push our big concave. So no, Levi, so if you're online, what you're seeing on there are the blank decks because that's what we start with. When you choose a graphic, here real quick. When you choose a graphic, you're going to end up with something like this as your finished per deck. This is a knife graphic with a faded color on it. So once you click once you click inside of the deck shape that you want, you're going to be able to select your graphic, and the image is going to cycle through all the graphics on there. But yeah, hope that makes sense. I'm a little all over the place today. This is the first day I woke up and felt well rested, and then right before I started the live, I started getting hit with a wave of exhaustion for some reason. But here I am, still going live for you guys. I got a stack of boards to shape in the other room after we're done. I plan to clean the shop up a little bit and go home, get some rest, and have a session over at LP. Yeah, it really depends on how you skate. I've got a buddy of mine that, actually Luke. Where did I put my stack of boards? Oh, hold on a second, guys. Oops. I'm going to have to pull 2 more layups for the standard when we're done with this. But I got a buddy named Luke that he just doesn't break decks. He doesn't break them down. Doesn't make sense to me. And I got friends that'll... yeah, dude, Luke doesn't break decks. It's insane. I think it just depends on how you skate. I mean, let me think. Like, my board breaker tricks are usually tray flip tail grabs. That's usually when that's going to happen. Or coming down from a 540 boneless that I'm a little too under rotated for. I think it's probably because I don't bail a lot. I pretty much commit to everything and try to roll away. I want to skate Oregon. That sounds fun. Oh, and you guys will be in for a treat in the coming few months here. Some changes to the channel since Bobby said that Luke shreds. Obviously, these lives are all going to stay the same. I'll keep going live and working with you guys. But I am going to start traveling. I've talked to my buddy Johnny, who's agreed to be behind the camera. I want to bring Luke and Chuck with me because it's a great variety of skating, and they're just fun to have around on trips. Really like those guys. I've gone out to BAMS and Ohio with Luke now, and took Chuck out to Ohio. That was really fun. But we are going to start going out to gyms on a regular basis. That's that place we were out in Columbia Station, Ohio, making videos of each trip. Johnny's got an SRT, so the trip is going to be fun. First trip outside of gyms is going to be to Chattanooga. Talking to the guys over at Mini on the Mountain about doing a little video for their Airbnb. So hopefully that's something we can do, and then maybe I get tied in with the skate Airbnbs and start doing ads and videos for them. So I'm stoked for that. That's funny, Sam. Sam's the best comic relief. And the man with all the answers, too. Isn't that great? Because sometimes you don't know if you're getting a real answer or not from Sam. Sometimes you're just getting a joke, and then the answer. Alright. I think I would have liked to go a little lighter on this glue, so we'll do that on the next one. I'm stoked for what's to come. It's going to be nice to be able to be present on these trips while still catching it all on film. Jeff, keep your heart. We all need that thing. Did I ever say a price for blanks? The price for boards without graphics from us is the same price as boards with graphics. So you can get a board with just our top graphic on it for $70 as a popsicle, or you can get our boards with a basic graphic on it for $70. Because when you get a life skateboard, what you're paying for is the process and the quality. If that makes sense. Sorry, Ben, I didn't mean to not answer you there. There's a lot going on in this brain and a lot going on in that chat. And remember, guys, I've only got 5 more to press here, so if you guys want me to write your name and a little note inside of the board, go ahead and buy a super and put in the chat super what you want me to write in there. Hi there, Travis. This is hard maple, generally Great Lakes maple, anything that was grown with long winters, cold winters, slow growth, makes the grain tighter, stronger, malleable wood. We should charge more for no graphic. You made us make this awesome board and you didn't let me put a lino block on it? I should charge you for that. And more pop. No, you could not focus a life board with one stop. I used to bring one around just for people to try. You're gonna hurt yourself if you do that. As I've said, alright, I'll go through some stories. When the life shop was in Muncie, Indiana, a girl came in for she wanted to build a cruiser. She got a coffin-shaped board, got some cheaper trucks on there, big old wheels. And then the next day she came back in and said, hey, somebody ran over my board. And it was from nose to tail. A truck ran over it all the way. And she needed new trucks. There's videos of my buddy AJ parking his car on an 8-ply from us. One thing that I've heard back from customers is that instead of chipping, the board just dents in, which is crazy, just compresses. Thanks, Benjamin. It's easy to be a good salesman when you know that you're right that you're being honest about the product. That's for sure. I mean, I fell in love with this product well before I was one of the ones making it. So, and plus, I don't know. It's easy to talk about a thing that you're passionate about, which is the process of making these boards. What's up, Juggalo? Am I okay to welcome you with whoop whoop, or is that not okay for me to do? I do not have a Hatchet Man tattoo, and therefore feel that I'm appropriating that. Or am I allowed to? Okay, good. I also don't want to be a smartass either. But I am a smartass, and I can't turn it off, and it's hard to not be a smartass. Oh no, I'm telling, dude. I'm telling, and they're gonna hunt you down, and they're gonna hold you down and put a Hatchet Man right on your forehead, I think. I think that's the rules. I think that's what they said the rules were. I don't know any of the rules. I'm making all this up, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, so we glued up everything that's going in the wide and mellow press. Now this one's going to take some wiggling to get in there. We're going to get it in there. Why do I have all this energy? I don't know. Actually, I do. Celsius, sponsor me. I'll keep yelling until you sponsor me, Celsius. Celsius, the thing without sugar in it so I don't crash. Yay. All right. So we're going to fit 2 of these in the bottom here. Well, alrighty, so that's set up there. I'm probably going to knock it out of alignment when I put this upper mold in, but we'll try. I'm not going to do too much as far as aligning this top one because I am going to slide that one around, that's for sure. Now we've got the mellow mold in here now. You know what's crazy? I've had jobs where it was like super annoying that my boss was watching through a camera. And then here at this job, I've made it so that my boss can watch through a camera because I think it's really cool. Hi, Sam. Plus, I mean, he doesn't have anything to worry about. If I'm cutting corners here, it's going to hurt the reputation of the business and therefore the reputation of the thing that I'm dependent on having more sales to be able to work. What is that frustrating? All right, we got to wiggle this in here now. I'm going to set this in there gently and then wiggle the next one in. Like I said, it's going to take some wiggling to get it in there. There we go. Now we got to realign everything. Now we're just fitting some molds in here that don't generally get pressed together. Is the reason for all that wiggling around. I've got a lot to align in the same place here. All right, that's lined up. Sorry guys, there's a lot to check on this one for alignment. All right. Now just to make sure these jacks are tightened down and we are good to go. Hey yo, what's up, man? I'm not sure. Oh, Avenged Sevenfold bat on a deck. So no, the way we do our graphics here is with vinyl blocks that are already carved. I'm really surprised that I knew the acronym for Avenged Sevenfold. But you can get a blank from us and do that if you'd like to. Yeah, just wait. The drippy glue is on its way. I definitely overglued the mellows here today, so the drippy glue is on its way. You got here just in time. And I'm going to be scaling back the glue for the standards today. So. Now give me a second here, guys. Knocking a lot of stuff in and out of alignment, messed some stuff up here. And this is why I don't mind going live, because when there's mistakes, you guys watch me fix them. So if there is a mistake, we aren't letting that reach the customer. So fix them right here, right now on live. And that mistake is this being a little bit out of alignment. All right, and we're good to go again. Hey Zeke, what's up? Definitely wouldn't have been able to rectify that mistake on the last press, which is one of the main reasons why I'm happy with just 4 per press. Gives me a little play time to fix stuff. Anyway, you're messing with this many moving parts. I'd love to. I've got 4 more boards to press here. And then I've got a stack in the other room. And I had a project I wanted to work on while I was here. And then I'm going to be meeting Ben down at Lawrence at about 8:30 to get him his signature board that he ordered from us. Arsenal sounds great. I really wish I was going out there more. I haven't had a chance to skate besides my quick stop at Majors with Luke since I got home from Cleveland, and honestly barely got to skate that day. So give me a moment here, guys. While I'm stepping outside, there's the website. Check it out. I'm gonna see if Sam's here and go ask him a question real quick. I'm back. Sorry guys, just confirming with Sam to that board. Nope. Nope. And if you want to feel the results of our boards, Sam, you can ride one of our boards or check with our customers on the results of what we've been doing. We've got about 45 minutes of playtime with Type On 2. But, and that's also why you're seeing me glue the ends down in between. Okay, someone's asking about this board right here. This I found in a house while I was cleaning it out. This looks like a Bob Roscott, right? And that would be awesome. This is an original knockoff. That's not real, but it's kind of cool that it's a knockoff from the era of Roscott. This is my board that I shot while we were out in Cleveland. Look at that. Goes through one side clean, blows out the other side. Real fun. We had fun with that. All right, now I'm going to get back to pressing. Actually, I forgot I needed to do this too. So you guys are going to watch me pull some layups now, because I had to pull 2 layups from Mellow out of the standard. Yep, it sure is, dude. It's an original fake cop, isn't it? Yeah. Pretty cool to find, but it's definitely not real. Not from them. What you do, you about to watch what I do. I just think it's a cool story. But all right, so inside of your skateboard, you're gonna have 7 plies of maple. You're gonna have 2 faces, which are pretty vertical grains, and 3 cores. Another vertical grain that can have blemishes in it. And then your crossband is a horizontal grain that adds strength in the other direction. So you're going to have face, core, crossband, core, crossband, core, face. And we've got those stacked in different stacks here, so that's easier to pull. I'm going to pull one more of those really quickly here. And what's cool is if face splits, it becomes a core, which is what I just separated. And we're good to go. What's up, Tristan? No way. So your buddy had one of the fake ones. That's really cool. Oh, definitely get it, Juggalo. Get it from us. You know where to get the good ones now. All right, let me throw some gloves on and we will get to pressing here. I keep moving my gloves around, or shaping. Now these are the last 4 boards I'm going to glue up, so if you guys want me to write a note inside of the board that nobody will know about besides you, me, and the people watching this live, if you buy a super, put in there what you want me to write on there. Obviously keep it appropriate, but encouraging notes, your name, whatever, I'll throw it in there. Yeah, you definitely need to make a trip up here. My local that I would spend most of my time at is Lawrence. I'll be there tonight. We're going to try to lighten up my glue use on these boards here. Make Sam all happy. We are located in New Palestine, Indiana. It's 20 minutes east of Indianapolis, right down 70, right off the Mount Comfort exit. So we are going to glue up these all natural standards today, load them in the press, and like I said, if you want something written in there, I'll write it for you. And since these don't have a tendency to snap, you and I are going to be the only ones that know. Yeah, dude, we're right around the corner. Where do you stay, Bobby? And you should always start skating. I don't know anything about you, who you are, or what your background is, but skateboarding's for absolutely everyone. It's one of the most healing activities out there. It's one of those things where once you get the board, you don't need anything else. You can just have fun, whether you're in a driveway, you're in the street, you're at a skate park, or you're just having fun. You can have fun anywhere. Do we make longboards too? Yes, we do. And in fact, I will be shaping one after I finish pressing these. We've got a separate press for the longboards. Two-person longboard? I mean, I don't really know what that means. You mean just a really long longboard? I'm not sure exactly how long our longest board is, but we do some longboards as well. We did just make a board that'll fit two people. That's a 14.5-inch board. You guys can hug each other and stand on that thing. You're only down in Franklin? Heck yeah. Yeah, definitely come see us. Heck, you see me on live, you know where I'm at. You can pop in. We do ship everywhere, Juggalo. I just took a 9.5-hour drive to Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago. You don't need to take the 8-hour drive to come pick it up. We'll ship it to you. I'm doing all right, Lost Kid. How you doing? Bam was skating the 13.6 panhead, I believe. He also skated the 14.6, but the one that I posted the video of him goofing around at home was on the 13.6. That's also the board I've been bringing around for people to try. We ship all over the world, and international shipping is a flat rate. So my suggestion is get with some friends, order together. You guys split shipping. We might lose some on shipping, but we're selling multiple boards, is what it is. We're happy to get boards out there. That would be cool. I'm not sure if we've sold boards to Romania. Sam, chime in if we have. Woo, that sounds fun. So decks from us are $70 minimum, and then the price goes up from there for customization and stuff like that. If you want to complete from us, we have an option that says, make my life complete. It's the price of a deck plus $110, and then you get Acer independent trucks, Pig's wheels, Red's bearings, the works. So that's $180 before tax for a high quality handcrafted board with quality parts. So the person that mentioned something about clamping within a few minutes or whatever it was, this is the step that keeps the plies from peeling up off of each other too. All right. I need a belt. Awesome, yeah. We're using Type Bond 2 here. Hey, E-Dog, if you'd like, you can order one of these decks right here, lifeskateboard.com. Remember, these are available for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're a smart ass in my chat or not. We're going to send you boards. From Bangladesh. You're from Bangladesh. Are you, or are you just being silly? Yeah, look, I've got a 10-inch football ready to go, and I'll be at LP tonight, Spence, if you need it. That'd be 79. And then I think we got some others good to go, but that's a pretty fun one to play with. Oh, I see. So, E-Dog, are you going to contribute anything to this conversation, or are we going to put you in timeout? Just curious. I'm going to give you the chance. We're clarifying on the dumb shit you already said. I'm just moving forward from that. Right on. So, just like your mother should have done a very long time ago, put user in timeout, 24 hours. Thank you for the question, W. This is Type Bond 2 that we're using here. In a moment, you'll see me tape it together and then put it into the press over here where we'll put it under pressure for 24 hours. And then it allows 7 days to cure. I don't know if he was on to something or not. He's in timeout. He can think about it, though. Of course, W. If you have any more questions about morgue making or anything like that, and then I've only got 2 more boards to glue up here, so if anybody wants a note put in there, buy a super, put it on the note. What I'm going to put in there, obviously make it appropriate. Don't think E-Dog there was going to be leaving me anything appropriate to write in here. So, and you can always buy supers just to support what I'm doing here. I'm only 80 hours away from full monetization. So we'll see what happens after that, because I have no clue. From Germany, thank you for tuning in. Whew. We do ship all over the world if you wanted one of these. And who knows, maybe you'll end up with one of the ones that we wrote a note in earlier. How about you do a kickflip, Dennis? I'm at work right now. But if you'd like to see me skateboarding, you can go to my shorts and watch it there. Steven, it's going to be okay. You can skateboard. It's going to be scary. Every bit of it is. It's going to hurt. That's part of that's part of the love of it. It's one of those, you got to pay the flesh toll to learn new things. You got to pay to play, and you pay in pain in skateboarding. But it's okay to be scared of things. You just need to, there's ways to get over it. And that's what I love about skateboarding. It teaches you things that you can apply in the rest of your life. I probably will. Each ply is the same thickness on these ones here. The monsters are a little bit thinner. We used to have different thickness for crossbands and vertical grains. Good question, though. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you. You should feel what one of these boards feels like under your feet. David, yes, we can do that. So we can get, you can tell us what top graphic you want. We've got a couple that we use. The block one is going to be super easy to cut around. The other one's going to be a little difficult, but we've done it. There's definitely a little stencil of how to cut it out up in the studio up there that I've come across a couple times. I personally don't know about that. Oh, there we go. We got the answer from Sam. Crossbands are 1/20th and face and core are 1/15th inch. We have a website. Yes, I'm so sorry. Lifeskateboard.com is where you find all of these boards. Unfortunately, my live keeps freezing. I think there's an issue with my phone. Definitely won't be able to get a better phone anytime soon, but very soon I'll have better equipment to be able to record full videos at least. But the link is in the description to the page. But if you just type in lifeskateboard.com, super easy to find. Lifeskateboard.com. 1/16th inch. So I'm going to say that again. Crossbands are 1/20th and face and core are 1/16th inch. That answer comes from the boss man himself. I don't place the orders. I just put them together. I don't put the orders together. I put the skateboards together. Sorry. Thank you, Joe. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's a lot of things, like if you want the lorry graphic, the graphic of my dog, you can put I want the lorry graphic in the notes. It's not available as one of the general graphics, but we'll do that for you. No, we do not cut plies in-house. We cut some plies down in length, but we do not cut the plies in-house. That would be wild. I don't think we're going to be spiral cutting a maple tree out here, though. But that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Ah! And that's what happens every once in a while. And what do we do when that happens? Grab a new one. Part of the reason that glue machines miss a crossband is because that happens every once in a while. And to add to that question, I don't cut down the boards on live because I've learned that the majority of the people watching these lives are terrified of terrified of saws in general. I turned on the saw, cut something, turned around, and viewers went from like 180 to 3. So I don't do that no more. I think the sound is scary. How much? Popsicles are $70, and then customizations and shapes go up from there. If you check out lifeskateboard.com, you can get one of your own. I'm sorry, Mojo, that's lifeskateboard.com. The boss is watching. Oh, I love it when Sam's watching. I love it when the boss is watching. He's the one that taught me everything I know. You better watch to make sure I'm doing it right. No way! What's up, dude? Trevor, that's CT Farmer, right? From Instagram. Made your board for you at Nomad. I'm going to try to do this, and then you're going to comment and say that I'm wrong. Made your board for you at Nomad. You wanted to know where to skate. Heck yeah, he wanted to know where to skate. So we ended up taking a street session after you got your board. And then I ran into you guys at Majors again. Skate or die, skate. That's a message from Bam Margera. He finished his interview with me like that. I loved it. Thanks, J49. You rock. No, you do. How much for 2 boards? The price of 2 boards. Our popsicles are $70. Customization and shape goes up from there. How's the boards going? They're going great. I mean, we've been, this company's been in business since 2012. Obviously, we can always sell more. And that's why we're here. Show people that we're doing things the right way. Show people the entire process of what we're doing and the differences between us and a factory board. And hopefully persuade you guys to get some of the best boards on the market right here. That'll be Life Skateboards. And don't forget, you can get one of these at lifeskateboard.com. In a moment here, you're going to see me press this up. Any last second super chats for me to write a note on the inside of these boards. Remember, if you want that done, just do a super chat. Say what you want me to write. I'll put it in there. Nobody will know besides you and me. Oh, sorry, Rooston. Congrats, Trevor. So, Roston Cook. So no, that is the price of the deck itself. If you want a complete from us, there's an option on the website for each shape that says "Make My Life Complete." It's $110 plus the price of a deck, so it's $180 before tax for an uncustomized popsicle. And you're gonna get Acer Andy trucks, Red's bearings, Pig's wheels, hardware, and grip with that. So if you want a full complete from us, it's gonna be $180 before tax if you go with a basic popsicle. I hope that was good and informative for you. Making $3K a year? Well, good luck, I think. Well, I think that puts you below the threshold though, right? That's pretty nice. We actually did ship some boards to Sweden. We ship all over the world, but international shipping is a flat rate, so I would suggest ordering with some friends. You save some money on shipping. We might lose some, but shipping multiple boards is always a win. Of course, Rooston. Somebody said, what's your best skate shoe? I personally skate the Vans Crockett's. I need a high top because I've got hardware in my ankle, and it protects the hardware in my ankle when I've got to wear a high top. I like how little it feels like the Crockett's are restricting me, and I like the toe cap on the Crockett. But like everything else in skateboarding, shoes are personal opinion. Hi there, Mark. If you'd like to see me doing a kickflip, you can head over to the shorts or videos where I'm skateboarding. At the moment, I am making skateboarding. So, I'm going to do my work. I'll skate later. Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to hear that. To end up making a couple boards. And the cool thing is when I come into work, I just go live. So, you're likely going to see me shaping your board on live. Thank you, Mojo. I appreciate you. Yeah, don't forget, guys, if you want to see this all the time, I think top corner up there is where you subscribe. Double tap on the screen for liking it, and then turn on notifications so that when I go live, you know, because I do not have a schedule at all. It's very random what time I end up working. All right, I'm going to drag you guys over here to the press. That's correct. Yeah, so it is a wood glue. It's a Type Bond 2. It's slippery, that's why we tape up the ends on it. I was probably doing that out of praying. But we tape up these ends so they don't slide around inside of the press. So good question there, bud. Great question. I'm liking this live today. Getting a lot of good questions, fun suggestions, and you guys are just rad. And if you want to support what I'm doing, you can get a life, you can buy supers, whatever you feel you need to do. What song do I play to hype me up? I've got a Death Grip CD in my car that I turn up all the way when I'm on my way to skate sessions. Paranoid's a good one. Oh. Yep, what a time, that's for sure. Troy, is that the Troy that I know? The Troy that rides our twin footballs? I never expect people I personally know to end up popping into these lives, and you guys always find it, and I love it. It's like having a conversation with you before I get to the park with you. Not entirely sure why one of these dropped all the way and the other one didn't, but I got enough room to make that work. Most of the time when I get here, I just drop the jacks and let them do their thing. Looks like this one needed a little assistance on its way down, and I wasn't here to help. I'm sorry. Yeah, we are. We do have a team. If you check the Life Skateboards Instagram, we have the entire team listed in the bio. I've got a signature shape with the company. Most recent addition would be Jax, little Jax, and then Justin before that. And then how many decks do you press at once? Earlier today, you saw me press the most decks that we will ever put inside of a press at once, which was 6. Looks like that's about the maximum they get as far as playtime with them. And then we don't want to put more than 3 in a mold because you don't want to start losing concave. This middle one's going to be kept the same by the top and bottom, but once you start pushing past that, you might start losing the original concave. And I got a new method to push these boards back in place that I'm about to use. Knocking that back into alignment there, and we're good to go. Yeah, I hope that does make sense. As far as per mold, 3 maximum. I think we learned today that 6 is my maximum per press as far as having enough play time with the glue. But as far as our team goes, we have absolute rippers on there. Gavin Spetlick is killing it on vert. He's got a vert ramp in his backyard, and he travels to things like Rage of the Rose, Polar Vortex, all those big vert contests. We've got young Key out of Seymour. She has been absolutely ripping. She does a lot of things outside of skateboarding. She's going to be going places. Jax is absolutely killing it. He just got a little frontside Smith posted by Q Skate Park that was just textbook perfect. Barely moved his upper body. We got Max Doty over in Greece. And lots of other guys on the team. Check out the Life Instagram to check those guys out. Alrighty, I gotta clean up this glue area, prep it for, so yes, this is what's happening. Whenever my live freezes up, it's a scam call trying to get through. Sorry about that, guys. These scams have been wildly aggressive lately. This morning I got a phone call that the caller ID said, Bureau of ATF. Hey, thank you, Friendly Fire. Appreciate you. And I'm gonna assume that you named your channel after the ammo and gun stores on Saints Row, because I've been playing Saints Row a lot lately. I honestly just catch myself driving around in that game more than anything. It's so fun. My signature board is pretty normal to skate, to be honest. Now, I am making a third version of it very soon because I'd like my concave to be tighter, so I want it to come out of the standard press and not the wide press. When I designed that shape, I designed it to be as weird as possible but still functional. I'm sure if you go back, you can see me doing like 540 flips and everything else that you can with a normal board with it. I really like the curves in the center for my front foot impossible sweepers. It really wraps around my foot really well, as well as for layback air varials. Leans, it feels really nice on that curve on the nose. Front side airs, it feels like you're just grabbing into the curve. It feels really nice. Seatbelt grabs, the tail's angle feels really cool when you're just grabbing over your foot in the seatbelt. And then also, the board looks wild while it's flipping, which I love. Like if I do a nice floaty front side flip and transition, the board looks like it's teetering as it goes over. I really like it. But I am changing it up just a little bit. And since I got a moment here, I'll show you the concept for the new one. Sound good? Because we're going to get to shaping in a second here. So, and Sam, if you're watching, I'm going to show these guys. So this is a half concept for my new shape. What I want to do here is I gave the nose like way too much of an angle on there. So I'm going to end up snubbing this and changing the angle. So it'll end up having a snub nose. The tail, instead of tapering all the way out, it's going to have a bit of a fishtail and then come back around like a popsicle. And then I wanted to give myself a little more surface area on the nose. I noticed that the majority of my foot is hanging off for all of my crooked grinds, and I wanted to fix that. I hope I gave you a trick idea. Something that I've been trying to do is hands crossed like this in a seatbelt tail grab for Smiths, since I saw AJ Nelson did a crossed hand in the center and pulled in. I want a cross hand on the tail. I told him we should both be working on it at the same time. I worked on it the day I told him to. And about that, my phone opened up the camera instead of just letting me move it and plug it in. And we're back. To give you a trick idea is wild, because you have crazy tricks in your head. All right, give me one moment here, guys. I'm going to get ready to start shaping this stack of skateboards here, one of which is a drop-down longboard, something I don't normally shape on lives. So we've got 3 popsicles to shape. Yes, we do design our own molds. Sam has hand carved his own, but he designs it, and then we get CNC cut out of blocks that we made. But I've got 3 popsicles, 1 drop down longboard, and these big boys here. So we're gonna have 7 boards to shape today, and then we'll see what happens after that. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna pop out, see if Sam is here, ask him a question. Because I believe he might be working on my shape today. I'd be really excited about that. I'm back. I'm very sorry about that. I'm back. I'm very sorry about that. Sorry. I had to go ask Sam a question. A voicemail came in or something and froze the screen on my end. I don't know if it froze it on your end. But the wonderful Lou Ross was on the phone when I went in there. So, looks like I'm going to have to build up viewership again. That's what I figured. It's alright, things will grow back up. I'm gonna just beat up every single person that scam calls me. I'm gonna drive over to Pakistan or Bangladesh or wherever the heck these calls are coming from, and I'm gonna have a talk with these call centers. Lately, when I get scam calls, I've been answering the phone as if I'm a Scientology recruiter, and it seems to upset them quite a bit, asking them how their thetan levels are and that I can bring them to a higher level for just a low payment of $10,000 a month, and I just need their credit card information. Flip the script on them a little bit. They like that. But what I was asking Sam about, because I might not be here while I was working on my shape, is I always liked the nose off of the knucklehead, and the way that my shape is lining up here, I'd be able to just make the knuckle my nose. So this will be my shape going to the tail there, but just make the nose a knucklehead. That should work. You know it, David. It's not been that scam lately. I've lost that scam about my car's extended warranty, actually. Lately, it's been for Medicare and end-of-life insurance. They really think I'm gonna die. But I'm gonna hang this up and we're gonna get started here. Looks like some viewers are back. You'd think that if you put your phone on Do Not Disturb, that it shouldn't go through and mess stuff up, but it seems to be messing stuff up, and I'm not happy about it. If these scam callers are watching my live while you're supposed to be at work, don't get back to work, get a better job, and stop calling me. It's not fun. Neither of us are getting anywhere. You're never gonna scam me. I'm getting annoyed. The people on my live are getting annoyed. Stop it. Not that any of them are ever going to see that. All right, so we'll go through these 3, 1, and 3. Sound good? Good. Now, while I have the respirator on, it's going to be real hard for me to talk to y'all, so you're just going to listen and watch. Yeah, I must have hit the disturb me more button. I'm not joking. I get like 45 calls a day. It's quite frustrating. If you're ever trying to reach me via phone, that's the reason I don't answer it. Hey, no worries, Bobby. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for buying Super Chat earlier. Definitely didn't need to do that, and we appreciate you for it. But I'll catch you on a session sometime soon. No! Shit! Give me a minute, guys. That hurt real bad. That was like slinging a fucking rubber band right into my eye. I'm sorry for the language, guys. That did not feel good at all. That hurt real bad. I'm so glad I did that on video, but my God, that hurt so bad. That was this thing coming full force into my eye. That felt great. I'm gonna have a black eye by the end of this live. It's already watering. That's pretty nice. Woo! If I wasn't awake, I'm awake now. Hey Sam, I need a new respirator soon. Shit, that hurt. Actually, I think I need a new respirator. Here, we'll see if we can make this work. That hurt so bad. We're not ending the live, though. We don't end the live for pain here. Jesus. I got a migraine now. That was fun. That was like getting punched in the eye, and I have been punched in the eye real good and real hard. That hurt worse. Bear with me here while I try to make this work so I don't have to go leave to get another respirator. What did I even do? I think I broke the respirator somehow. We're gonna make this work though. We're gonna rig up a respirator here. God, that hurt. That was because Bobby left. That's why that happened. While Bobby's here, I'm doing great. Dude, that was bad. I went to put my respirator on and it snapped like a rubber band and smacked me with the plastic piece right in the eye. It was great. Now I'm rigging up as best of a respirator as I can. There's gonna be string hanging in my face. And Captain is tying knots. Everybody needs their knots tied to come to him. That's me. Bonus points if you know what that was from. Yeah, dude, that hurt really bad. It was like pulling a rubber band and snapping it in my eye. This respirator has been through a lot. So is my face, apparently. I do. Can I do that? How do I do that? I don't know what I just did. Yeah, I should. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good to make this work. Captain of tying knots. Everybody needs their knots tied. Come to him. We got a box knot on this thing. We're gonna hope it works. That's a respirator right there. I think I just clipped it. I don't know. We'll find out. It's listed as unlisted, so I'll be able to check. Every time something crazy happens, I need to do that. I'm learning about all this. God, that hurt. The whole live will get posted, and maybe I'll put a timestamp in there for when that happened, because I want to watch what happened. Because I literally just snapped and then walked out because I was afraid of what I might end up saying. All right, this is scary to put on now. I'm closing my eyes so tight putting this on. Good. All right. Whew. It's on. It's safe. Yeah, that's normal. Damn. It looks like I got beat up. Already. Sweet. Now I got something to explain on my lives. Here at Life Skateboards, we beat the shit out of ourselves to make you the best skateboard you can have. Woo! And what's funny is, Sam's on the phone right now, so he didn't see any of that happen. Sam, you missed me getting abused by the equipment again. You missed me getting hit right in the eye by the respirator strap. It was bad. I'm gonna have a black eye. All right. God, my face hurts so bad right now. Thank you, Dan. Dan clipped it. How bad was it, Dan? I need to know. I'm gonna have a bruised eye when we're done. Only I would get hurt by my own PPE. Learning light, I'm gonna give you some advice right here. Your boy don't have the insurance thing, so we live until we die here. Live until we die and hope that we do it quickly. I think I'm alright. I've had my eye socket smashed before. I got jumped and got my head stomped on. I smack my head on a regular basis. I'll be alright. It's just gonna hurt real bad. I know it. There we go. That'll work. It is what it is. Welcome to the world of the pores. That's me. That's for sure. No matter how poor you are, you can always rip, right? Hey guys, I know I said I'm doing this 3-1 and 3, but I'm taking them all the way through. I'm hurting pretty bad, but I'm gonna finish this live and try to do things that take less of my focus. Sound good? Sounds good. Oh yeah, I'll be all right. It's going to take a lot to make me cry, I promise. I promise. I have an annoyingly high pain tolerance. Every time that I end up in a hospital, it's very annoying for everyone around. Like, they did not believe that my leg was broken. What's up, Nick? Well, I went in for that. I didn't think it was broken. It is very thick, but it's also because of the concave. So this one is... So this is an 8-ply longboard. So the thickness is what you're going to see right there. It looks way thicker in the center because of the concave. But yeah, it's 8-ply. Go a little heavy on our longboards. That's very true, Kenneth. That's accurate. What do you do with a board that wide? You skate it for fun. You get 13-inch slappies and you set it up and you have a damn good time. That's what you do. I've tray flipped the 13.5. That's on my page. You can sail it across any ocean if you want to, and then when you get there, you can rip it. I can hide behind it. All right. You guys are gonna end up plugged in here. Let me move the charger because it looks like you're trying to die on me. There you go, Aaron. That's true. That's the board, the same shape and size that Bam was skating in that video I posted. All right. We got you guys plugged in. We're good to go. Boom! What we got here? Sorry about that. Dang it, guys. I am so sorry about that. I really, really wish. I really wish that I knew when scam calls were screwing up this, and I really wish I could stop them from coming in. But apparently my phone on Do Not Disturb doesn't do that. Thanks, Dan, though. Appreciate you. If you guys are just now tuning in, don't forget you can get one of these boards at lifeskateboard.com. I've got to step outside for a second. Let's check on the swelling on that. Nice. Nice. I'm going to have a nice swollen black eye. If you didn't catch it, I smacked myself in the eye while I was putting my respirator on. Pretty good. And it hurts real good. Now, I'm going to step outside while you guys discuss things. Peanut, I'm really sorry I didn't answer your question when you were here. If you're still here, the Chubby Stubby Twin comes off of a different press. These new ones are coming off of a new press. Dan, if you want to contact me through Instagram, Stranger Casper, we can talk better on there, because I'd love to see it, because otherwise I'm just going to put a timestamp on the full live. Sanjay, you always get a shout out. Why? Because I love you. That's why, buddy. I don't even know you, but I love you. If my phone freezes, it's because I'm getting a scam call. Fill the chat with anger at those scam calls while my phone freezes. I'm stepping outside. Or, to be honest, I'm going to go pee real quick. I'll be right back. I'm back. Time to drink another Celsius. Okay, stay awake. Oh, we're all here. What's up, man? You're back again. Next step, we're going to take these all through this here. I probably got to air up that bladder. Yep. Got to air that bladder up real quick. You missed me punching myself in the eye with my own PPE. The side of my face is swollen. That's pretty neat. I usually don't see what injuries do to me until I get home. That's a great idea, David. I think the Scientology method has been working really well with me. When they call, I just start off the conversation with, do you think you're living to your life's fullest potential? And then I pull a bunch of quotes from South Park. And I either get them arguing with me, hanging up on me, or asking me questions about it. And halfway through, I want to agree with them, but I can't break character. And it's fun. It's a good time. I enjoy doing that. If they're going to waste my time, I like to waste their time, right? But 40 to 50 calls a day sucks. Right, dude? So much for safety. Pressure hose. Alrighty, they knew that I didn't want the screen to freeze, and so I froze the screen again. I swear, man, this has been sucking. I really hope that this isn't a consistent thing I have to deal with on my lives. 'Cause I know it's probably not fun for the live to jump around for viewers either. But don't forget, if you want to support what I'm doing, maybe even help me get to the point where I can get a better phone so this stuff doesn't happen. Go, you can buy supers, go to Life Skateboards, get yourself a life, all those things. Woo! All right, where did I put my dang respirator? You can do like a Dora the Explorer thing every time I set something down. I swear to God, the majority of my day is looking for shit that I set down. You can't tell I'm a little out of it after getting slingshotted in the eye. It wasn't a good time. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate it. My lady thinks so too. All right, let's get you guys plugged in under here. Plugged in. Are you charging yet? There we go. It's charging. We're good to go. Let's get to work. Touch up over on the orbital, since obviously I can't get into the corners there. So you'll see this get a lot more love over here. And don't forget, guys, go to lifeskateboard.com if you want one of these, especially if you love skateboarding. You know it, the best work in the world, the ones where I'm not going to end my day after I slingshot myself in the eye with this. Because that happens. If you want to scroll back, you can watch me smack myself in the eye. one more step before we hop over to the orbital. Thank you, Kai. Yeah, those tails are rad. Thank you, Xandrick. Xandrick got that Xandrick got a monster pop from us recently. I picked it up yesterday while I wasn't at home, while I wasn't at work. Jim, I'm a little confused. You trying to tell me not to sand too much? Hello, Ricardo. Well, I'm going to take you guys off of the charger here. Move you over this way. I've got to take each of those boards through these here. It's much quicker. And then when I hop over here, I can take the respirator off and I can communicate with you guys a little better while I work on the orbital. All right. I'm done with everything that I need the respirator for. So this is coming off. Get the charger plugged in over here. Get you guys charging and angled down, and we will get to work. Hey, thank you, Kai. So if you didn't know, I'm making skateboards for Life Skateboards. So those are available at lifeskateboard.com. I think the camera might be covered in dust here. There we go. And if you're wondering why this eye is swollen, if you scroll back, you can see me smacking my own eye with the strap of my respirator. That was pretty fun. If you like square tails though, Kai, check out our website. That's lifeskateboard.com. We've got over 77 shapes listed on there. All of our twins have some really cool ones. What's up, Off Grid? You missed it. I beat myself up with my own PPE earlier. All right, so to finish this out, we always finish with a 150 grit. Yeah, definitely check us out. And then if you, pretty much what happens when I come into work here is I clock in and I go live. So the majority of the time, you're gonna see your board get shaped on live. So finishing this out here, we always use a 150 grit. You might see me using a 60 grit to get some of the excess glue and things like that off. This final step is just a little bit of touch up with removing any excess glue. Yeah, Bam is looking a lot better. And skateboarding is what he's gonna, that's a really cool way to lean into this. He attributes just diving into skateboarding again to him focusing on sobriety. I've got a 5-minute interview with him that I'm waiting on permission from his publicist to post. I might end up just posting it and I'll cut it and take it down if he's upset that it got posted a little early. But we'll see. Maybe I'll send him a text later and find out if he's happy with me posting or not. I've got some caption editing to do on that video, and then it'll get posted from our trip out there. But his 5 minutes of talking about sobriety was just very powerful. I know it's going to help a lot of people. I talked to his publicist about it. His publicist edited it. I think that's his publicist. Edited it, and I think I'm just going to share my full video with him just to make sure he's happy with everything. I didn't want to be very invasive on our trip, so when I did the tour, it was after he left. Didn't go to the 3rd floor, didn't film the Hobbit hole. Just pretty much our trip out there, hanging out with him, going to FDR, skating in his house, and just kind of showing off his house. Yeah, Kai, he definitely, so I got to meet him when he came through Indianapolis area. There's a local park that I take care of in Lawrence. We recently, in the last year, got that painted, and the base coats happened to be purple and pink. So he was in town for a signing, Day of the Dead, Friday the 13th. I got told that he was at LP. When I went to LP, it was just me and him. We talked for a little bit. After his signing, he hit us up to skate again at that park, and then again on Monday at Majors. Then he hit a local and I up, and we went out to the castle for 5 days, which was awesome. Very grateful for that trip. Very grateful to Dan and Bammy for Bam and Danny. Dang, I just messed that up. Sorry to mess your guys' names up. My bad. It's been a long day. But very grateful for Dan and Bam and Danny, did it again, for welcoming us into their home, for Ray for taking care of us, Head for taking us around. It was a great time. It definitely should be. It's definitely his sanctuary now. He only spends like 10 days a year there, but I can understand why it's his sanctuary. It's absolutely peaceful out there. And actually, it is a historical site. So everywhere in Westchester, Pennsylvania is historical. So they're like not allowed to knock down buildings or anything. They just gotta let them fall down. So it's really cool driving around there because you see like these beautiful historic farms that are falling apart because the people are waiting to be able to build stuff in their place. But you've got like really cool historic buildings that have been there forever right next to new construction, but it's all in beautiful woods. You're driving through the woods and you randomly come across like bamboo forests, which was just somebody not understanding that bamboo was wildly invasive. But it's pretty cool to be in Pennsylvania and see a bamboo forest. I had never traveled that far east before, so it was really exciting for me to get out there. It was a good time. Met some really rad people. Oh yeah, definitely. It's kind of like the opposite of gentrification out there, because it's the families that like had a hold of those areas for so long that are just kind of passing them through the city or through the town to keep it the way it is. It's really cool. Lots and lots of nature out there. Winding roads, mountains, hills, it's beautiful. Oh yeah. We went and like did some exploring while we were there and stuff. Found like the first paper mill that was out there. The video that I took is pretty much us exploring, hanging out with him. We went over to Skinny Joe's cheesesteak place over that's ran by the old King of Philadelphia. So I really hope I get that video posted soon. I've been holding on to it for about a week or two. Thank you. Sorry about that. We froze up again. So what happens on my channel is I go live here making boards all the time. I'll go live while I'm traveling to show off the spots that I'm at. And then a recent change is that I've got a crew that I'm going to finally bring with me with Johnny, Chuck, and Luke. Johnny will be behind the camera. And he's going to capture every trip that we take, and we've got some really cool ones planned. We're heading to Chattanooga, back to Columbia Station, all kinds of stuff, and then Johnny will capture all that on film. He's helped me out getting a PC for editing, and we'll go from there. And sorry for the jumping around. Every time I get a scam call, it freezes the screen, and I lose a bunch of people watching. So sorry about that. I will eventually figure out how to make it so they can't call me. That's impossible. They spoof every number. So I'll figure it out. Yeah, it's not even robocalls anymore. Thanks, Sandrick. That's what my buddy Johnny does as well. But he already built me one that we're going to keep upgrading the processor on, from what I understand. I'm pretty dumb with that stuff, so he's been helping me out a lot. He built me a cool one with all the bells and whistles and lights and see-throughs and all kinds of stuff. I'm stoked on it. You know it. Definitely is. Yeah, this is these longboards take a little bit more love too. Just the other equipment can't really get into these notches, so I'm going to be cleaning them up by hand. More by hand than anything else, just with the orbital. Awesome, you found our pan heads. That is one of our more popular shapes too. Got so many sizes of them: stretched pan heads, long pan heads, and then the XXXXL pan head that just came out. There's the first one finished up. Like I said, these longboards take a little bit more on the touch-up side. Less touch-up, more cleanup on the rest of these. But here's your drop-down longboard. No, we do not have a drop-through yet, but we've got 2 molds for our longboards, and this is one of them. All right, so we're on to the rest of these. Celsius keeps me awake. Ooh. So what you're gonna find with our boards is even when you get wheel bite, the concave is so deep that it feels like it rolls off really well. What's up, cowboy? But I mean, I get pretty heavy wheel bite on my boards. 1 second. So this is one of my old boards. As you can see, I dig in there with my wheel bite, but I just wax the spot and kind of power through it. I skate 99A wheels. And if you're wondering, yes, we shot this. It cracked after skating it for a very long time, and then we happened to be somewhere where we had the opportunity to set this up, and it was fun. DKL held it together. It's really cool. It's like the holes are perfect, and then just blowouts on the back. It was fun. It was a good time. It was with Luke. Luke had never fired anything. We were in a position where I could tell him we could. I run loose trucks too. You know it, yeah. Just peppered it with a 22. So Cowboy, if you want to go to our website, that would be lifeskateboard.com. But it kind of sounds like you're looking at like our 1986, our 1986.5, maybe our 1990, something in that range. We've got 77 shapes listed on the website and plenty more that aren't listed. We can make whatever you want. But if you stick with the shapes that we have, it's going to be better for you. Let me grab that 1986 template. Remember, this is just a template. But yeah, we make popsicles, but we are known for our shapes. So if you're looking at the 1986, it's got a nose that kind of gets flat on it there. These are just templates, remember. And then our 1986.5 has a rounder. All right, sorry, we froze up again. I think this with the flatter nose is probably what you're looking for. But this is a fun one too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, especially if you were thinking medallion in your head. Square on the top there. But yeah, that's our 1986. It comes with a 15.5 inch wheelbase, but you can change that if you'd like. All right. Ooh. Brightest ink color. Probably, we have a very thick blue. Some of those bright colors don't come out as bright because of the thickness of the ink itself. We have a really thick light blue that comes through really well. Thank you. We try to be. Actually, we don't try. Usually I'm wearing a hat that says stay lame on it because you should. Somebody says something's cool, don't do it. That's my advice of the day. All right, now we're gonna hop over to these popsicles. Once again, this is gonna be a lot more cleanup, a lot less touch up. You know it. So Cowboy, we can't do that. What we can do, so we apply all of our graphics with hand-carved lino blocks. So we've got a bunch of blocks that we had a local artist carve the reverse image for, and that's what we stick with for our graphics. And we don't do any heat transfers. Heat transfers ruin skateboards regardless of the fact that the majority of the industry uses it. So we just stick with what we have. What we can do for you is, let's see, you wanted white and black. We can roll the bottom of your board white or black, or maybe even do a split. It would be kind of hard to roll a split on there, but we could try. Just contact my boss with the contact information on the Life website. That's lifeskateboard.com. Yeah, make sure you specify with that blue, because there's a darker blue, and then there's this really cool like tealish blue that the ink is super thick for, which when you're doing multiple prints on top of each other, it's not good. When you're just printing one and you want it real clean, it is. I remember when I know your graphic didn't come out as standoutish as I wanted it to. Kind of like, that's why I always double print my graphics personally. Where it has that little offset with a brighter color in the background to make it stand out. But I was able to get those splatters on there with that neon green. That was kind of difficult because that ink is like foamy, it seems like. It's a little weird. Speedball ink has different consistencies for different colors. guys are enjoying what you're watching, don't forget to double click the screen for me. Let YouTube know you like it. And if you want to keep watching these lives, I think there's a bell up here. Hit that, subscribe, and turn on notifications for me. Thank you, I saw that number go up. You guys are rad. It was sitting at 99 for a minute. Thank you. And if you guys do want to support what I'm doing even further than buying a life board, you can buy supers. Every little bit helps. I haven't even been able to withdraw that, and I believe after probably tomorrow, I'll be full monetized partner with ads and all that fun stuff. Thank you guys, I always appreciate it. The likes are awesome. Sharing is even better. And then if you really feel the need to, you can buy a super. But never feel obligated to. Pretty soon, just watching my videos is going to help me get paid. Do I know anyone looking to open a shop in or around Denver, Colorado? No, I don't. I know opening a skate shop right now isn't the industry is not doing the best. I'll say that. There's a lot of stuff up in the air right now. So I know having a skate shop is pretty difficult. Not to kill anyone's dreams or anything, just being realistic. Combination of outsourcing all production, a lack of skateboarders in the higher up of the industry, which is what happened to Dwindle, kind of losing sight of quality, and then, I mean, the main problem has been outsourcing everything as far as production goes. Cutting corners for years and years on production and all kinds of stuff. Ah, crap. That sucks, man. They'd end up in, I mean, are we talking skinheads, or are we talking red-laced boots and marching to the downfall of other people? That's true too. Although there are skate video games. I don't know. It's the skateboarding as a whole seems to be growing, in my opinion. And I know I hear different from all over the place. But I don't know, probably there's the watering down of brands as well, where all the brands are the same. I mean, all the brands are made by the same people, all that fun stuff. And it will always have its ups and downs. And I think things are just going to kind of change as far as the industry goes. But the cool thing is we kept everything right here for Life Skateboards. So nothing's going to happen to us. That's my favorite part about this, is since we control every step of the process here, it doesn't matter what else happens in the industry. We're going to be here. We're going to be doing fine. You can get boards from us. That's what I love about it. Oh, wow, Kai. Yeah, that's not cool at all. I'm not gonna promote violence in any way, shape, or form, but it kind of sounds like a street corner near you needs some filler. No, we don't make electric skateboards, but we have done a long pan head, and that someone took a boosted motor and put it into a datum that we made on it. Yeah, they were smart with those ones. Yeah, run them out of the park next time, Kai. Seriously. They don't deserve to feel comfortable in our spaces. That's for sure. And we're not talking about like, you're talking about people that are hurling slurs at other people at a skate park, and that's not cool. Make sure you run them out of the park. Electric skateboards are for people that want to go fast, I guess. It would make a really cool wall. What's going to be weird though is that you're going to have a wall of all different skateboard brands and like 3 board makers. Maybe just like a skate shop. Hey, thanks, Travis. We're so what do we do here with this step is final cleanup and touch up. So I'm just hitting every part of this. We use this orbital for other things as well. So we're fine with this. We've been making boards with this method since 2012. Actually hopping on in the last few seconds. Ooh, I like that. You guys are funny. You're just hopping on at the very end of this line. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps before it gets to here. So, all right. You guys distract me a lot, so I have to double check everything. But this one's good to go. 1 second here while I step outside. Be good. Go to skateboard.com. I'll be right back. thing I was looking for was in the other room, not in my car. Templates. Good job, guys. You answered that question without me even here. What do you need me for? I could just leave you guys on this live, and you guys would be fine, apparently. Yeah, what they're referring to, we've got templates made. We've got templates that are made out of the uncuts. So, like this guy here, set that up on top of there, drill them in, good to go. Thanks, William. What you're gonna see here is a lot of board making on lives as far as pressing, gluing, shaping, graphic application. And then you're gonna also see me traveling, skating, all that fun stuff. Real soon here I'm gonna have full videos of traveling. And yeah. And let's see, is my face swollen yet? A little bit. You missed me smacking myself in the eye with my own respirator. I'll keep talking about that. I'm mad about it still. I went to go put on my PPE and I hurt myself doing it. It's actually I guess this eye. I don't know what things look like on your guys' end. I'm sure this shirt is backwards and all other things. This one. I don't know my right from my left on reverse screens. I'm sorry. Come up with a story for that black eye. You should see the other guy. It's my broken respirator. That's the other guy. DeWalt, sponsor me. Just don't listen to why. Dear DeWalt, sponsor me, because I match. But don't listen to why we use a DeWalt. So this is hooked up to a Festool vacuum system. The reason we use a DeWalt, because DeWalt's cheap. And we put a lot of strain on this in a way you don't normally put strain on an orbital. So we go through these, but we don't want to go through the Festool. So that's what we do here. You know it. Sponsor me, DeWalt! You know it! I'm gonna be real honest, I got up this morning and DKL sent me a package. I had a shirt on for DKL for the live, and I promptly got blood all over it this morning. So that was nice. I sliced my finger open, moving some stuff around. You know it, man. Thank you, William. Turn on notifications. I don't have a live schedule, so you just kind of pop in here when I'm here. You know it, man. This is actually the last step. So just so you know, this isn't all I'm doing to the boards. We press, shape everything in-house here at Life Skateboards. If you want one of your own, go to lifeskateboard.com and keep me working. Ricky, if you go to lifeskateboard.com, you're going to see over 77 shapes listed on the website. If you're talking about an Alva board, probably going to be, so all these in the back here are templates for our shapes. Probably going to be over in that corner in the 80-86 range. We got a 1986 and a 1986.5 that you're going to probably be looking at. Yep, PPE, personally pummel my eyeballs. That works. The company is Life Skateboards. Now that I'm done with this corner over here, there we go. I'm going to get out of the way. Lifeskateboard.com is the website. It is. So, I mean, that's just for convenience as well, just having them all out here. Really easy for us to just go and grab one, put it back. But it's also great to show everybody. I mean, these templates are going to be slightly bigger than your board because we're going to take some material off making it. But yep, lifeskateboard.com. That's where you're going to check us out. So we were Oops. Whoops. So the shop was located. I'm easily entertained, and that was funny as shit. So the shop was originally located in Muncie, Indiana. We moved the shop to New Palestine a couple of years ago. That's 20 minutes east of Indianapolis, so we're just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis. That was great. Well, I'm glad none of that equipment was on. All right, these guys are going to hang from the templates. Oh, I can clip that, right? Am I learning I can clip stuff? There we go. I clipped that. I'm doing the YouTuber thing. That was hilarious. If it falls again, I'm still going to be happy. Oh, man. You guys get to see all of it. Well, alright guys, there's only 27 of you here. I can get mean towards somebody that I got a lot of opinions about. You and Paul Schmidt would get along great. Because you would probably, I mean, if you throw on a lab coat and say things like nanotubes, everyone expects you know what you're talking about, even though nanotubes don't exist in a skateboard. But I'm going to keep my mouth shut after that one. Oops. Well, Ricky, you're in luck. So they're not on our website, but if you go to the Life Skateboards Instagram, we just made a 15-inch press. So we can go all the way up to 14 with good. We can go all the way up to 14.6 with good concave. So check us out. The instructions for how to order those are on the Life Skateboards Instagram. Yeah, sorry, Kubla. I'm getting one of them dang scam calls. Aw, Ricky? Never too old. I was skating vert with a 67-year-old this last weekend. You can always skate, though. Promise. Jim Gray's still kicking it. I was hanging out with Ron Allen this last weekend. But you can always pad up, too. Dude, they have been up in the game on pads. Rip clips for your hips. You got butt pads now. You can pad up like crazy, and they're all low profile, so nobody will even know if you care about that. We're gonna peer pressure you into a skateboard. Everybody peer pressure Ricky into skateboarding again. Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. Well, so these are 7 plies of maple, but you can get an 8 ply from us. And if for most of our heavier skaters, what I suggest is getting whatever trucks you want, whatever turn radius you're used to, and then swap the stock bushings for Bones extra hard bushings, and you'll be great. A longboard for each foot, that'll work too, or just an 8 ply life skateboard with Bones extra hard bushings. That should make it turn just like you're used to. But, yeah, you can always welcome back to it, man. Those 8 plies are very strong. With the bonite in them and everything, aces and going. Nice. Have you seen the weird stuff Goldwings and Grind Kings been doing lately? I love it. Although Slappy seems to be the move. Slappy has been on top of it lately. I love it. There's another one done. 4 more to go. Dude, that is so cool, Ricky. I love that. Here. Let me show you something cool. I ended up having to sell those to my boss to pay some bills, but that's original. I've got a knockoff Rob Scop in the other room as well, and I've got a Nash at home that I'm giving away to the guy who tattooed this on me. for the late Quentin Bradford. Figured you'd probably dig that one. You have the knee pads from the 70s, that's even cooler. I ride 187 knee pads when I skate. That's rad. Yeah, those old, did they call those copers or lappers? Because the lappers were the thing that let your truck come up there, and then copers were the thing that made it grind, right? No, not really using them again. It's like a Z-roller. You're talking about the PVC around the truck right there is what I meant to, is what I'm referring to. I don't. Maybe I don't know what a KD is. Describe it to me. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. I'm sure you're sitting at home looking handsome as well as yourself. Jay's over here making me not self-conscious about this swollen eye. Thank you, buddy. Let's check that out. Would have loved the meetup I had this weekend. Actually, I have a live from this last Saturday out in Cleveland. Oops. Yeah, out in it was Columbia Station, and the guy has a skateboard museum upstairs at the lagoon that has all kinds of really cool stuff. Yep, I was out near Cleveland at the Welfare Line Bash this last weekend. Hanging out with, Ron Allen came out there, big group of board collectors. He's got a skate museum upstairs at the lagoon. It's Cleveland area, Columbia Station. Yeah, it's the original owner of TriStar, if you're familiar with all that. Jim. Well, it's a closed group event. It's just this group of board collectors that I got in with that meets up out there every once in a while. It's definitely not open to the public. But I'm sure you know some people in there if you've been around the scene for long enough. But Ricky, let's try to figure this out. I'm gonna start listing some people off in Cleveland. Yeah, that's rad. Yeah, if you know, like, let's see, Alex Rowland over in the Akron area, Jim, Sam and Shelby Snellenberger, those guys over there, really great people. Is Sam in here? Sam is in here. What's up? I just hear things outside and I'm like, that could be Sam or it could be someone else.
It's me.
Did you see what happened to me?
No.
My eyes swollen? It got clipped on live. People also got to see it. It was great. I got hurt putting my protective gear on.
Man.
It was awesome.
Sorry.
I'm running on pain and adrenaline now. Dang. Well, those are really cool people, Ricky. I hope you get to meet them one day. Well, guys. Woo. That's rad. I think I'm gonna go ahead and have to end the live here. I'm ended up with a really bad connection and getting blown up with phone calls that are ending the live and freezing it. So don't forget, go to lifeskateboard.com, get a life of your own. I'm really close to full YouTube monetization with watch ads and all that fun stuff. You're gonna sell everything, Ricky? I know a little bit, Xandra. Get yourself orangutan. Orangutan is the best as far as downhill goes. I love that. I used to downhill longboard for a long time. But I'm going to be ending this this live soon. So Ricky, subscribe, because if you start selling stuff, please feel free to talk about it in my chat while you're here. Subscribe, hit the button, do the notification thing. Probably going to be back on live either tomorrow or Saturday. Just depends on how things are going. Thank you, Ricky. And yeah, feel free to talk about that. Have a great day. Xandrick, I'll be at LP later this evening, so I got to deliver a board if you want to skate with me later. Trevor hopped on here as well, so hit him up, tell him come to LP tonight. I'll be there around 8:30. Don't know how much skateboarding I'm doing, but I gotta deliver a board. I'm gonna be at the skate park. I might as well skate. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye-bye.